It's nothing that you can figure out with your mind. So if you try to say, I'm going to try to understand all of it, what Mindo says, and I will then come to see the ultimate truth. It's nothing to understand. You only need to understand that you will see much better over time as you rise in your consciousness. What are those different truths, valid points, perceptions, and so on? So many times when people would ask Buddha questions, he wouldn't answer them because the question asked is already a limited question with a certain imposition. Not that he doesn't know what is the answer, he knew, but he wouldn't answer because the question itself was a limited question, incomplete question, or asked from a much lower place. And therefore, in that circumstance, it is better not to answer than to give a partial truth. So certain questions of partial nature can only include partial truth answers. So better is to not answer them. The same way Ramana Maharshi would keep silent and answer only certain questions. Or Osho was also answering certain questions, but when he answers them, then they're very paradoxical because this question he answers in this way, and the other question he answers in that way, and they're completely opposite to each other. So people would get very confused. So they say, so how is it? And he says, well, this question is like that, and that question is like that. But if somebody tries to put them together, it doesn't work. It's completely opposite. So the questions are partial and the truth is partial. It is valid for that question. So it cannot be joined to another question because the other question has a different validity of different truth. So these are all games of the mind or of partial nature. And it's very difficult for spiritual teachers to express what is the ultimate, because those who receive the answers will interpret it differently. So even though I'm giving the same satsang to all of you will come out with slightly different conclusions. And you will have your own unique interpretations. So I say one thing, and then there will be many opinions. So therefore, we understand that there are these different levels of consciousness, different steps on your spiritual path. And as you go along, you discover for yourself more and more deeply what is the essence of everything. You come to a deeper and deeper essence. And as you come to this deeper essence of the nature of reality, then according to your own unique constitution, you will come to your own conclusions and so on. But my objective is that you come to that deeper essence of the nature of reality. So I'm not concerned about many of the questions and answers. I'm not concerned about different opinions. I simply want for you uniquely to come to that deeper place of seeing and experiencing the nature of reality. And everyone then lives it in their own way. That's why we have many spiritual teachers, and they express these deeper nature of reality, touch points in their own unique ways, which is beautiful. The diversity and uniqueness is beautiful. So non-absolutism is non-one-sidedness. And this is why at Divine Marga, we're not siding that we're only jnana yoga, or we're only bhakti, or we're only this, or we're only that. We're not only that one thing. We are integral. We integrate different healthy sides to allow you to take your unique journey to the deeper essence of the nature of reality. So non-one-sidedness. So as you come to this deeper and deeper nature of reality, for example, as you come to presence, you already realize and experience that you are the space for the chakras, for the kundalini, for the energies, including the mental stuff, the emotional stuff. You're no longer the content, ever-changing content. You are the space for it. This is called presence level of consciousness. As you dive a bit deeper, meditate on your silent existence. A silent existence doesn't mind the mind, doesn't mind what you know, what you have learned, how much you have gained knowledge or experiences in your life. The silent existence doesn't mind any of it. So how come? I will give you a very simple example that when you were a little child, a little girl or a little boy, you knew that you exist. Isn't it so? Yes, of course. You knew that you are, that you exist. You didn't understand, the world. You didn't understand other people, society, or even your parents. Maybe you didn't even get your parents. Why these clumsy big creatures are behaving so strangely, not giving you what you want, not doing things the way you would like to be done. But anyhow, you knew that you exist as a little boy, little girl. 10 years forward, becoming a teenage, many things have shifted in your life. You have tasted and tried out a lot of things, and you have failed in a lot of things. Apart from all of that, you also knew that you exist as a teenage. You developed some complex mentality already, troubled emotional interactions, some great resistances and developing and so on. But apart from all of that, very simply, you also knew that you exist. Same thing now. Whichever level of consciousness you are at now, you also very simply know that you exist. It's very basic, very simple. And this is where we can all relate with each other. That apart from all the differences of our appearances, upbringings, our different spiritual paths we've taken, we can agree that we know that we exist. And we can check it, and it's simple, and it's true. And it doesn't have a gender. When I check into my feeling of I exist, it has no gender, male or female. Gender is already another feeling on top of it. So, the same way, this is one beautiful unifying point, already beyond genders, already beyond time, such as childhood, teenagehood, adulthood, elderly life. Time doesn't matter for your silent existence. The same way, beautifully, even animals know that they exist, but they cannot contemplate it directly like we do. A cat cannot sit and contemplate and become aware of in this way that, oh, I exist. It already knows it, it's automated, but it cannot contemplate as such. But we can, humanity can do that. But what I wanted to say is that animals also do exist. Every living thing, every living being fundamentally knows that it exists, but it is limited in its comprehension, in its awareness of its own existence, apart from five senses or however many senses it has. So this is a beautiful unified experience that even if one is Buddhist or Hindu or Muslim, Christian or whatever, they will all sit down and agree that, well, we all exist. That's beautiful. And everybody will agree that we all share the same space. We all share the same reality, whatever that means, but we all share it. So we're all existing and we are all sharing this moment, this beautiful, precious moment now. This is beyond unity consciousness. This is no longer my truth, your truth, or I feel connection with this and that. It's beyond all of it. This is a simple experience of a more advanced consciousness, which is not difficult. It's difficult to sustain it. It's difficult to remain in it. It's difficult to fully comprehend it. It's difficult to fully realize its implications. That's what is difficult. So that's why you have to grow up to it to have a much deeper sense of what this truly is, this silent I am. So it's beyond unity consciousness. It is even beyond presence because this is coming into non-duality. We can go even deeper than this, but this is already more difficult because we have to open the higher doors of consciousness. We have to go even beyond your silent I am. We have to go beyond this whole world that we share. And this is where we then begin to enter greater and greater degrees of, we may say, enlightened consciousness, greater and greater degrees of reality. And when Buddha was experiencing these greater degrees, he recognized, oh, in this region, there are angels, devas. Oh, and in this region, there are other kinds of beings. And they all share the same sense that they exist. They all share the same environment, but it's completely different than what is here in this reality where humanity dwells. So this is how he came to perceive different planes of existence, and they're all valid. There's a lot of life within them. So the same way we have divine cosmology where we can see higher and higher planes of existence and what exists there. But this is much more complex. And it is beyond the awareness as such. And through higher attunements of the higher light, this clarity comes forth. So this is much more rare and much more difficult. So the Advaita Vedanta likes to stick to their views, and they like to simplify everything into the self, which I have elaborated many times, that there are many deeper degrees of that same idea of the self. There are many more ways to arrive at these deeper states of consciousness.